Today, Raddy and I are doing something really fun. We're gonna turn Inside Out 2 characters into Sprunki characters.
It's gonna be super cool, and maybe a little crazy.
Okay, let's start with the first character.
Let's go! This is gonna be so much fun. Who should we pick first?
First up is Anxiety. Wow, this will be interesting. Let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing I started with was removing all the parts I didn't need from Sprunki. I just cleaned everything up and focused on shaping the head so it could look more like Anxiety. She has that very specific shape, you know? It's not just round, it's kind of droopy and stressed in a way, so I had to get that right. I played around with the shape a bit before I liked how it looked. Then I moved on to the mouth, that big expressive mouth she has when she's all nervous. That was actually really fun to make. I started shaping it so it looked like a kind of nervous smile, like the one she makes when everything's going wrong and she's trying to hold it together. I made sure to get the curves in the right places and gave it some expression. After that, I started working on the inside of the mouth. I added black to give it that deep look so I could later add in the teeth. It already started looking a little bit like her, even just with the mouth. It's kind of crazy how much of a character's emotion can come through just from that one feature. Then came the eyes, and honestly, Anxiety's eyes are probably one of my favorite parts of her design. They are these big green eyes that have so much emotion in them. So I drew the shape, gave them a nice bold outline, kind of like a black ring around them, and added the white shine to make them look alive. After I made one, I just copied and pasted the other one across to save some time. It's always satisfying when a little trick like that works perfectly. Then it was time for the teeth. I didn't want them to be sharp or spooky or anything. Anxiety isn't a villain after all. She's just overwhelmed. So I made the first tooth nice and rounded, kind of cute looking. It looked like she only had one at first, but I just duplicated the rest to fill out the smile. Then I duplicated the top row and flipped it to make the bottom teeth. It looked way better after that, like a full anxious grin. If you haven't seen the new movie yet, it's honestly really fun. I liked the first Inside Out, but this new one just hits different. The new characters, like Anxiety, Embarrassment, they're all so good, but I think Anxiety's definitely my favorite. She's just got such a cool design and personality. The hair. Or fur? Still not sure what to call it, but it's everywhere. Anxiety's hair is that wild reddish-orange color, kind of tangled and a little chaotic, just like her personality. I started making individual strands, drawing them one by one and curving each one to make them look a bit messy, like they're sticking out in different directions. I copied and pasted those all over her head, going right, then left, and adjusting them one at a time. It took a while, but it made a big difference. At one point, I zoomed out and realized she still looked kind of bald, so I went back and added a bunch more. That part honestly took the longest. There's so much hair, but it really brought her together. You know when it just clicks and suddenly the character's personality starts showing through? That was this part. Then I moved on to the eyebrows. I noticed that in the movie, her eyebrows kind of float near the ears, which is such a weird but fun detail. So I drew them in, thick at first, but I didn't really love it. They looked a little too dramatic. I redid them to be thinner, then thickened them just a bit to get that anxious but not angry look. And finally, the clothes. Since Sprunki characters don't have hands, I couldn't do a full outfit, but I still wanted to give her something that felt like her. I went with an orange and white sweater, and then for the bottom part I added brown to look like pants. It's simple, but it totally works. You can still tell it's her. Honestly, I had a lot of fun making this. It was kind of a challenge in some parts, especially the hair. But the end result was totally worth it. Anxiety's such a unique character, and it was fun translating that into a OC Sprunki. So let's just get up in the game! Okay, now it's Pinki's turn to make an Inside Out OC Spunky. Let's see what she's going to pick. I'm so excited.
I don't know what to pick. I am so nervous. It's Joy. She's an awesome character. I love her. All right, it's my turn now. I'm making Joy. I picked this yellow character base and added a smile I found in the Sprunki game files. I'm not totally sure where it came from. It kind of looks a little creepy if you stare at it too long, but honestly, it works, so I'm using it. I also made a small nose to match Joy's look. It's nothing too crazy, but it helps bring the face together. Now I'm working on her eyes. They're blue, and they actually look a lot like Anxiety's eyes, so I just copied those and pasted them in. That saved me some time. I feel like the eyes are one of the most important parts, especially with Joy. They need to look bright and excited, like she's always smiling, even with just her eyes. Now I'm working on the hair. Joy has that short, kind of messy haircut. It's called a Bixby cut, I think. It's got this slightly emo style, but still looks really happy and fun. I'm trying to shape it like it looks in the movie, but still keep it looking right in the Sprunki style. Guys, please let us know in the comments what Inside Out characters we should make next. Do you have a favorite character? I always liked Joy, but after watching Inside Out 2, I think Anxiety might be my new favorite. She's just really fun and kind of reminds me of myself sometimes. My least favorite is probably Sadness. I don't hate her or anything, but I don't really connect with her as much. She's just a little too slow for me, I guess. I added a few more shapes to the hair to make it stick out in the right spots. And then I realized something. Her skin isn't really yellow in the movie like I always thought. It's more like glowing yellow light, but her actual skin tone is more normal, so I changed it to look more real. At first it felt weird because I always remembered her being super yellow, but I think this looks better now. Now I'm working on her dress. Joy wears that bright green dress that stands out a lot, and of course she's barefoot in the movie, so I'm adding that too. Making the dress in the Sprunki style is kind of tricky, but I'm doing my best to get the shape and color right, and I think it's starting to look pretty close. That green really makes her feel like Joy.
I'm actually turning Sky into Sadness from Inside Out. Yeah, I kind of erased everything from Sky. Sorry, Sky, you'll come back later. I just really wanted to make Sadness, and since both characters are blue, it made sense, you know? I started with her head shape. Sadness has this sort of soft, squarish head, like a rounded block, and I tried to match that. It's not a perfect square or a circle, it's more in between. It took a few tries, but I think I got it pretty close. Then I got to the eyes. I really wanted them to feel tired, like that kind of exhausted, nobody listens to me look she always has. So I made them droopy and a little weary. You know, when you've been feeling down for a while and it just shows in your eyes? That's what I was going for. It actually worked out. She looked like she needed a hug, which is exactly what I wanted. For the nose, I kept it super simple. Just a couple little lines, really minimal, like the movie. You almost don't notice her nose until you really look, and I like that about her design. Next up, glasses. Big, round, chunky blue frames. You know the ones. I tried to keep them true to the original, making sure the two circles connect right in the middle. I didn't want to make them too small or too neat. Sadness' glasses are kind of clunky in a cute way, and I wanted to keep that. Once I added those in, she instantly started looking more like Sadness. It's kind of wild how much a pair of glasses changes everything. I was like, yup, there she is. And then, the hair. Sadness has this round bob that almost hugs her face, so I started shaping that. At first, it accidentally looked a little like a schoolgirl haircut, which was kind of cute. I originally borrowed Veneria's hair as a base, but I've been reshaping it and smoothing it out to match Sadness' style. I spent a lot of time sharpening the edges and getting that soft look at the top. Her hair was green at first. Don't ask why, but I changed it to deep, rich blue. Way more accurate now. Like she's just hiding from her feelings or the world, but also like, it's fine. I'll just sit here and cry a little. Don't worry about me. It's a little messy too. Not like Joy's super sparkly neat hair. Sadness hair is like she didn't brush it because she was too busy being emotionally overwhelmed, and honestly, 10/10 most realistic hair in the movie. Last part, the sweater. The thick, cozy white turtleneck. It's almost the Sadness outfit. Soft, oversized, and a little awkward, but in a lovable way. I'm using some line work to give it texture. The turtleneck is like the Sadness thing. It just works. I can't draw the rest of the body though. Sprunky-style characters don't have hands or legs, so I'll probably just leave the bottom part white.
Alright, so now we've got Joy, Anxiety, and Sadness as Sprunky characters. It's been fun seeing how different they all turned out.
Which one do you think looks the best and who next? Disgust, fear, or someone new? Let me know.